Okay guys, so we're gonna do a quick video on the pak da. Okay, so pak da, basically there's three pak das basically. We're gonna simplify it. Okay, you have an offensive, you have defensive, and then you have a forced trap. Okay. Before we get into that, let's talk about the pak da. So a pak sao is basically a slapping hand. Okay, a da is a punch. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to pak sao his arm out of the way and add in a punch, a pak da. So pak and da. Okay, in reality, it doesn't matter if his hand is there, if I pak the wrist and I punch, if I pak the mid-forearm or I punch, or I pak the elbow and I punch. It doesn't really matter. What matters is scoring the punch through, okay? But textbook, because you always see guys, the reference point that's supposed to be, like in our last video review, you're gaining this attachment. So normally you're not gonna gain an attachment like this, it's gonna be far out. So usually it's the mid-forearm or the elbow for control. I get more control on the elbow than I do with his hand. If I pak his hand and he's quick about it, he can loop around and hit me in the ear, okay, or punch me or whatever. If the same thing happens, but I go at the elbow, it's a lot harder for him to loop back around. I get a lot more sticky control on the arm, okay? Okay, so it doesn't really matter where your hand lands, just score your punch through, okay? So for instance, if we're here and his hand is up and I go offensive trap, I might just go for the hand and just get this through. I don't care if he loops around. By that time, I'll be throwing my own stuff at him and following up on the first one. So it's like I'm allowed to be a little farther out when I do that pak out. Okay, that would be our offensive pak. Okay, so offensive pak. A defensive pak would be if he comes to me, then I need to remove it and score my da. Okay, so he's moving first and I step in and I remove it. Now if you notice, I'm more in the middle of the forearm. Okay, so one more time, he comes through, I pak and I hit through. Okay, defensive pak. Now, a forced pak can work one of two ways. It could be I throw a punch or my view, and he blocked it, so it's forcing me to remove that and continue my attack. Or it happens the other way, where he comes at me, and maybe I put my hand up to block, and I remove it to be able to trap. So that's a forced trap. He's forcing me to trap because the hand has made contact. I need to remove that out of the way. Okay, so those are our basic pak saos, or excuse me, pak das. So one more time, his hands are up. You have offensive, he comes to you, you have defensive, and then you have a forced trap. Okay, so that's a quick video on the pak da. Thank you.